My wife was born in Katowizawa, Japan. She is the daughter of a minister from Belfast, Ireland. She's always wanted to bring me to this place. And now it's happened. Katowizawa, Japan.
Soon 帰るんですか？わからない。
明日
帰る。
大阪まで入る。
そう明日東京帰る。
あ、そうですか。
Memories, this place. When we first arrived, people we never knew in Team Mission, but we'd written to, met us in Yokohama and took us to their home in Tokyo. We stayed with them for a few days, I can't remember how long, and they'd booked us into a cabin up here in Katowizawa for language study, you see. Anyway, then after a few days we got the train up here to Katowizawa, but of course in those days it was a steam train. I mean, it took 5 hours or more. And we got as far as Takasaki, and because it's up in the mountains, they had to put another engine on the front to pull the train up around the mountains. But what a difference that made to time.
Having somebody with us who understood the Japanese language and the culture firmly was a distinct advantage, sure. However, in hindsight, one could easily find their way around Japan due to the equivalent English signage on rail stations and other areas. Of course, most of the Japanese we met seized the opportunity to test their own English out on us gaijin. Oh, that means foreign devils. And I must say, some of them spoke better English than me.
We only just arrived in Katowizawa, and in the middle of the night there was this colossal bang. And we thought, ooh, what could that be? And anyway, we just turned over and went back to sleep. But the next morning we found out that the volcano just up on the mountain above us had erupted. Boy, was there ever some smoke coming out of that. Ash came down all over the Katowizawa. And it's still there, of course, but it seldom blows its stack. But it did that night, and that was to welcome us.
This used to be the road to Tokyo. So, from the backside of Japan had 5 major roads that connected all the old feudal kingdoms of Japan. And this was the road that connected the backside of Japan, Kanazawa, all the way to Tokyo. And it's called the Nakasendo. The Tokaido, which you'll be going down on the bullet train to Osaka, is the one that connected Kyoto with Tokyo. You would keep on going up over the mountains here and walk then down the mountain from here. This was the mountain pass, basically. That sign there says don't take cars in beyond this point, but I guess he didn't read it, huh? Tokyo is there basically because it's the flattest, biggest flat part in Japan. Japan is 78% mountainous, only 22% arable, and they pretty much, all of Japan is basically all mountains like this. And later today, with the sun hitting it from the other side, it'll be another view. But so you can see how this is the Usui Pass, and we used to have a train that came up this mountain, which was the steepest climb of a train in Japan. But now the bullet train comes through a big tunnel through here, and so they don't even use that anymore. But then that down there's the plain, and that's where you go on down to the bay, and that's Tokyo.
but it's very soothing.
Just heard good news from Carol. She's telling me that the bears in Japan would be hibernating. And I just want to say I'm glad to hear that.
Actually, I think it might have been that one. I'll come up to the front. There's a really old Japanese house up here if you want to get a shot of that. What the hell is that one? That's what I remember. Smell the wood fire. Yeah, it was that one. These rocks are from Mount Asama, which is the volcano that is not far from here. This old house is a traditional Japanese house. It's been here for well over 30 years. It was here when we lived here when I was quite small. Looks like it's been boarded up for the winter.
Ah, the bee man. Kids, do not try this at home. This somewhat of a celebrity bee man took out a live bee from a glass container and placed its sting on his forehead. It must have some medicinal qualities. I worked that much out, and judging by the gathering crowd, yes, it must be a medicinal or almost even an acupuncture type of method using natural live bee stings. No thanks. I'll take the honey and run. There are many things about the Japanese I came to appreciate. Their value, honor, and appreciation for everything and everyone, for nature, for their fellow man. It's nothing for them to greet you in the street and bow to you a number of times, and you bow back, of course. This is, I guess, like a handshake in our culture. Taxi! He didn't stop.
Well, there you are, Carolyn. Now you know where you were born.
Yeah, that's where we were born. And my mother, we lived just up the road. We'll show you later, but you know, she went into labor. She picked up her pillow and walked down here to the doctor's house and said, you know, it's time. She'd climbed the mountain the day before.
Yeah,
walking,
about that. It was time, all
a few
right.
hundred meters to the doctor's house.
Yeah.
No problem. You know. It's a river fish.
Oh, really?
You eat the head and the bones and all, you know.
Really? Yeah.
Guts and all.
Okay.
Here. What's that doesn't tell you iguana, the profile of the iguana, but it doesn't tell you what the English common name is there. Scientific
Oh, look
name.
how they cook them.
Yeah.
Here To here.
It's called the White Thread Waterfalls. Shiraito, white threads. Well, what's amazing about the waterfall is that there's no river above it. It originates here. It's coming right out of the mountain. There's no river. This is a spring, and yet it's a waterfall. This much water is coming out of the mountain, literally out of the mountain. Right there. And for some reason, there must be a fault, you know, or something. It comes out so flat right here, and then drops so beautifully. There you go.
This is evidence. Video evidence.
Bones, stomach, and all.
It's good, isn't it? It's good.
It's beautiful.
It is good. Yeah.
Beautiful. Actually, it is nice.
It is.
It is nice.
Amazing when you're willing to try things, you learn.
Yeah, I love them. I think
Trout. It isn't hard to see the American influence upon the Japanese culture. Wherever you go, there's always a store dedicated to American merchandise and paraphernalia. Well, at the end of the day, it's all about business and shopping and souvenirs, and no matter what country it comes from, it's got to be good. And talking about culture diversity, I had the good fortune of meeting up with an Iranian artist who now lives in Karuizawa, Japan.
I'm almost finishing this painting.
The intriguing thing about meeting this fellow was we met him entirely by accident. We were walking home from the Machi, and I said to Carol, I don't know, but I get the feeling that we should take this street home. And when we entered his gallery, I noticed a painting of a particular house set in the woods of Karuizawa, and it turns out it's the house we were staying in while visiting Karuizawa.
The seasons are changing. Yeah, last 4 years, 5 years, it was much better colors. His name is Froggy. You can visit him on my website. Yeah, thanks.
Another fascinating aspect about the Japanese society was everything seemed to be set in order so as to serve the people equally. And this was perfectly displayed through their transport system. As our train was pulling in, you'll notice that on the platform there's a number, and the number on the platform coincides with the carriage. You'll see when the train pulls up that the number on the carriage is directly in line with the number on the platform. And this straight away eliminates any confusion. After saying our farewells to our good friend Craig, it was time to climb on board the train and make our way to Tokyo Station.
From Tokyo Station, we boarded a bus, which we stayed on for the next 2.5 hours, to Karaguchiko Station in Yamanashi, which is the town in which beautiful Mount Fuji is. And we went to our hotel at Lake Fuji, from where we could see Mount Fuji.
If there's one thing, or maybe two things in Japan that they'll never run short of, that's Japanese food and noise. It seems everywhere you go in the cities, there's noise, day or night. And food, wow. Every second shop in Japan is a restaurant, a Japanese restaurant. Like this little one we found in the back streets. Sold this dish called takoyaki. Very nice indeed. I got used to eating this one. We went back a few nights in a row.
はい、こんにちは、こんにちは。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。どうも。どうも。どうも。Window there. Construction work. No, what do you think? What do you think we should do?
We should ring the service and see if we can get a massage. We'll go down.
Do they come here or
Go here.
massage?
Well, according to this,
Japanese food.
you can get different ones
I see with mouth munchers.
from 3 to 10. You can get a foot bath. You don't want that. Okay. It looks to me, I can't read this. Oh yeah.
How did they do that? I didn't even move my lips.
From 3,001. What's that? From 3,158, you can get a reflexology massage. Looks like 25 minutes. Or you can get a one for an hour for 6,000 yen. Or you can get a facial treatment for 7,000 yen. Or Chinese massage